Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel. Take a slow, deep breath with me now. Let your shoulders soften. Let your mind become still. And bring your awareness to the extraordinary body carrying you through this human experience. Because today, we're entering one of the most mysterious areas hidden within Dolores Cannon's work. The secret language of your body. Have you ever wondered why your chest tightens around certain people before your mind understands what is wrong? Why an old fear can return as a physical sensation even when the danger has been gone for years? What if your body is not betraying you? What if it has been trying to communicate with you all along? For over 40 years, Dolores Cannon placed ordinary people into deep hypnotic states and guided them through forgotten memories, past life experiences, and even the moment of death itself. And here's where Dolores discovered something she didn't expect. The mind was never the only part of the person remembering. The body remembered too. In one of her sessions, a woman was reliving a difficult childbirth from another lifetime. As she spoke, her breathing changed. Her body began to move as if she were living it again, right there on the couch. Dolores wrote it down simply. This often occurs when the body remembers as well as the mind. Beautiful soul, sit with that for a second. The body remembers as well as the mind. Now, this is where her research became even stranger. Let me take you into one of Dolores's actual sessions because this one changed the way I think about fear forever. Dolores was speaking with a young woman, and under hypnosis, she was taken back to the late 1800s, to a 9-year-old girl on a hay rack ride, headed to a school picnic. There was a creek near the picnic grounds, and the other children were planning to go swimming. The girl couldn't swim well. She was afraid of the water. But she didn't want the other children to know it, so she decided to bring a fishing pole and pretend to fish instead. So no one would ask her to go in. She was miserable the whole ride there, not enjoying a single minute of it, just quietly dreading the water. Dolores moved her forward in time, past the picnic, expecting to hear how the day turned out. Instead, the woman suddenly said in a calm, surprised voice, "I'm not there anymore. I'm in the light." Dolores stopped, asked what happened, and the girl, still speaking with a child's voice, said, "I couldn't swim. The dark just closed in on me. I felt my chest burning, and then I just came out into the light, and it didn't matter anymore." The girl had drowned, in water that, looking back from the other side, she realized probably wasn't even that deep. She said it herself. "I don't think it was that deep. I got real scared. I think my knees just folded up and I couldn't stand up. I was just scared." And then, from that expanded, peaceful place, she said something that stopped Dolores in her tracks. "Fear is something you bring on, and it is paralyzing." Dolores asked her directly, "Do you think when people are afraid of things, they draw it to them?" The answer, "Oh yes, you bring those things upon yourself." Thought is energy. It is creative, and it makes things happen. There it is, beautiful soul. One of those sentences that changes the entire conversation. A 9-year-old girl, speaking from beyond her own drowning, telling us that her fear, not the creek, was the thing that pulled her under. Now think about how fast your own body answers a single thought. Remember an embarrassing moment, and heat rises in your face. Imagine biting into a lemon, and your mouth starts watering before you've even picked one up. Hear frightening news, and your stomach tightens before you've said a word back. The thought is invisible. The body responds anyway. What that little girl described from the other side of death was the same mechanism, just turned all the way up. Fear as something that doesn't just accompany danger, but manufactures its own kind of drowning. Now, I want to say this once, clearly, and then we'll keep going. None of this means illness or pain is ever your fault, and nothing here replaces real medical care. Dolores herself was careful about that. What her sessions point to is subtler, that fear and resistance can amplify what the body is already going through. Okay, let's go deeper. One woman entered a session about something else entirely. Instead, Dolores found her reliving a birth that had gone wrong in a past life. Her breathing changed. Her body began to labor, right there in the chair. Dolores moved her forward, past the moment of death, to spare her the physical distress. On the other side, the woman said quietly, "I was weak. I should have been able to tolerate the pain. I must learn to better withstand it." She said she'd had fear from an illness in childhood, and that fear had returned during the birth, and, in her words, "I gave up." Dolores asked her the question I think about constantly. Does pain have a purpose? And she answered, "Pain is a teaching tool." She explained that pain could humble someone or force a person to slow down, and that sometimes just understanding why the pain was there was enough to loosen its grip. Then she said the line that should stop anyone scrolling. If you admit that you will hurt, you're giving power to pain. Do not give it power. Dolores pushed back a little, pointed out that people become frantic, that they feel like they can't handle it, and the woman's answer was almost blunt. Some people, she said, hold on to pain because it becomes a shelter, an excuse, a way out. Not always consciously, but there. But here's where Dolores discovered something even stranger still. This wasn't the only time a subject described the body itself as something almost separate from who they really were. Something they were wearing, not something they were. Dolores once regressed a woman in her 80s who was dying of old age. In the session, the woman sounded exhausted. "I move slow. Takes so long. There's not much joy anymore. I am so tired." Dolores moved her gently forward, past the moment of death, and the change was instant. The woman's whole body jerked and she smiled. A completely different voice came out of her, full of life. "I feel free. I'm light." Dolores asked if she could see her body. The woman practically laughed. "Oh, that old thing? It's down there. I had no idea I looked so bad. I was so wrinkled and shriveled. I feel too good to be that shriveled. It was all wore out." She wasn't sad. She was delighted, describing her own body, the one she'd just left, the way you'd describe an old coat you were finally allowed to take off. "I feel intelligent. I feel peace. I feel calm. I don't need anything. Do you see the contrast, beautiful soul? One moment, heaviness, exhaustion. I am so tired. The next, lightness, clarity, calm. Same person, no body." Dolores saw this pattern again and again, hundreds of times across hundreds of subjects, and it led her to a simple but enormous conclusion. The body isn't who you are. It's a vehicle, a filter, something the deeper self is wearing, not something it is. Now, this is where her research gets genuinely strange. In one session, Dolores asked whether a person's entire life, every thought, every action, is somehow recorded, kept, stored somewhere. The answer she received was direct. That is accurate. It is simply as if a tape is being made of your life. The subject went on to explain that this record could, in rare and necessary cases, even be edited, a painful experience removed if it served no further purpose for that soul's growth. Whether you take that literally or symbolically, it points to the same thing we started with tonight. Nothing you've lived through simply vanishes because your conscious mind stopped thinking about it. It gets stored. And sometimes, the body is the only part of you still holding the real. That may be why you can react intensely and not know why. Your conscious mind says, "There's no reason to be afraid of this." Your body says, "I remember this." Both of you are telling the truth. You're just reading from different tapes. So how do you learn the language, beautiful soul? Dolores didn't treat a symptom like an enemy to defeat. She treated it like a clue. And she always asked the same kind of simple, direct questions. When did this begin? What was happening at the time? What is this trying to teach me? You can ask yourself gentler versions of the same thing. When tension shows up, pause and ask, what just happened before this feeling arrived? What have I been thinking but refusing to say out loud? Where am I forcing myself to keep going when everything in me wants to stop? Don't demand an instant answer. The girl at the creek didn't understand her own fear until she was standing outside her body, looking back at it. Sometimes clarity only comes from a little distance. A memory might surface. A feeling might rise. Or nothing might come at all tonight. And that's fine too. You're not failing. You're just starting a conversation your body has been trying to have with you for a long time. Dolores Cannon spent decades listening to voices from beneath ordinary consciousness, and again, those voices describe something remarkable. That the body isn't a machine working against you. It's a messenger, sometimes gentle, sometimes loud, always in its own way, trying to protect you. So tonight, before you sleep, place one hand over your heart and the other over your stomach. Breathe slowly and ask, "Body, what have you been trying to tell me?" Then go quiet. Don't force it. Just listen. Because perhaps the secret language of your body was never truly secret. Perhaps it has been speaking through every tightening muscle, every wave of exhaustion, every sudden intuition, and every unexplainable moment of peace all along. The real secret is that listening requires stillness, it requires honesty, and it requires love. Honor your body, care for it, seek help when it hurts, rest when it asks you to rest, and learn to listen before the whisper becomes a roar. Because the guidance you've been searching for may have been speaking from within you the entire time.